Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, May 23rd, 2 days before graduation, and it's a beautiful day outside. Yep, I love days like today. No tests, no homework, no classes to worry about, just a chance to kick back and relax before graduation. And at this point, I really wish I could take my time and stay in this sweet spot for longer. But of course, time is time and we have to move on. It is about 9 o'clock. Underclassmen have their finals today, and seniors have this graduation rehearsal at 10. But not for Shul and Scroll because we're having a brunch today.
Hi, David.
Hi, Katrina. In fact, I've just met the caterer.
Hi.
So much delicious food. I haven't had breakfast yet. You know what's just occurred to me? I haven't vlogged in over 3.5 months. The last real vlog I made was called Metacognition, all the way back in early February. Sigh, this is very, very boring. More minutes. I didn't really have any post-school plans today, but Alvin spontaneously invited us to his house, so I'm just gonna go there.
Such a great teacher.
Of course.
You're prepared, right?
I failed Hoffman just to ace go to Davis and Aces.
Today I want to talk about a psychology term, the fundamental attribution error. Now, the reason that this very simple idea is labeled fundamental is that it forms the basis for so much social psychology. And I'd have to say that next to cognitive dissonance and rosy retrospection, the FAE is my third favorite psych term. So the fundamental attribution error is a very simple idea that we tend to attribute a person's actions, successes, or failures more to the person's merits or lack thereof, rather than to situational factors or influences. All that was a big mouthful, but let me give you a hypothetical situation. Let's say that you're driving one day and in front of you there's this guy who's going really, really slow. But you're in a rush, you really need to get to work or school, so you honk, you curse, you give him the finger, but nothing. So obviously, gut reaction is that guy's a horrible driver, he should get off the road. And you have just committed the fundamental attribution error. Maybe. In fact, it's in the driver's manual. Let me read it to you. Do not use your horn if a driver or bicyclist is going slowly and you want him or her to drive faster or get out of your way. The driver or bicyclist may not be able to safely go faster due to illness, being lost, intoxication, or having mechanical problems with the vehicle. That's right, it's very easy to overlook outside influences when you're looking at a person's behavior. Someone gets an F on a test, you think they're stupid, but maybe not. Maybe they were ill, maybe they didn't have the chance to study, or maybe they came from a poor family. Now that might sound kind of crude or politically incorrect, but let's be honest. There is a positive correlation between SAT scores and family income. Why? Because rich families have more opportunities to give their kids, and kids who come from rich families don't have to work after school and things like that. If you have more money, you send your kids off for tutoring or enrichment opportunities. Overall, people from poorer families are not as academically developed, and it may show up on a test that they don't do as well. And this gets into the heart of why I'm making this vlog. Just over a month ago, I posted a note on Facebook called College, and one of the things that I did was that I made the argument that you should not judge a person based on where they get accepted into school. And here's one reason why. There are so many external factors that influence the traits, features that college admission officers look for. How can you say strictly that someone is not smart based solely on what grades they get on tests? In the same way, how can you say that someone's a bad driver just because their car's dying? So the next time that you're judging someone's behavior, think twice, because there might be factors, external factors, that you're ignoring or are unaware of. Alright, so let me close by taking this one step further and talking about another feature of this error. Curiously, many people only make this error when they're looking at other people's failures. They don't make this error when they're looking at their own failures. So for example, if I don't do so well on a test, I might just say, oh, I just didn't have the chance to study. It really has nothing to do with my intellect. This is especially true when someone succeeds. For example, if I get an A+ on a test, of course I'll think, oh wow, I'm so smart. Or if I get into a good college, wow, I totally deserve that. Well, to be honest, that sounded a little bit egocentric, so maybe not everyone does that. But certainly, we do tend to overlook these external influences quite a bit. And recently, I've read a great book about this. It's called Outliers, written by Malcolm Gladwell. Read it, it'll change your thinking. I know that in psychology, there's this classic debate between nature and nurture. your environment, and your genes. But this book, Outliers, has convinced me so much that nurture matters a lot more than we think. In fact, it's almost led me to believe that people are a product of their environment. And that very radical statement can actually explain a lot. It explains the development of cultural values. It explains why there's so many diverse types of people in the world. So in case you haven't heard, there's this new feature on Facebook called Questions, in which friends can ask other friends questions, and you can also answer other people's questions. So a while ago, one of my friends posted the question, talent, is it nature or nurture? And there were three possible answer choices, both, nature, or nurture, obviously. So the first answer that I selected was both, because that's what I learned in psychology, and it also seemed to make sense to me. Originally, it seemed to me that good artists need to have some innate talent that they're born with, nature, along with a lot of practice, nurture. But after I thought about it a little bit more, after I thought more about the book Outliers, after I thought more about the fundamental attribution error, I changed my answer to nurture. Now, that's not to say that nature is irrelevant, it's to say that nurture matters a lot more than we think. So of course that led me to the question, does innate talent even exist? I looked this very difficult, very complex question up on the internet, and I was impressed by one very good answer. Nature is actually the love of an art. Nurture is what makes this love come to fruition. So, fundamental attribution error, I am throwing you and your effects out of my brain. And without you, there is no way to make a judgment about someone based on their behavior, because there's too many factors that we just don't know. And viewers, I hope that you will do the same. Good night, everyone.